Hello friends, welcome back to another episode of Everything Jake podcast, where I come to the shop here in Monterey and get to hang out with some of the wonderful artists here and talk about art, marketing, Monterey Bay. So today though, we are mixing things up a little bit. Where's the camera? Right there. The camera's right there, see? First of all, let me introduce my collaborators on this experimental podcast. Right here we have Sevilla. And we've got Chris Powers as well. Man of the hour, Mr. Powers. And yeah, so today we are making work while we talk. And so this is not going to be too much that we know is going to happen, because the nature of today is experimental.
Right.
So C and I are working on the painting. We're going to be switching back and forth, and while we do that, we're going to talk about creative choice. What is it? Where does it come from? How do you get more of it? How do you maintain it? Kind of strategies as an artist for how to do what we do best practices in a way, right? And so one of the things, you know, right now, by the way, Chris Powers has his show up. Chris, you want to talk about your show at all?
Yeah, I have a art exhibit rolling at the Salvador Dali Museum.
Yeah. So the Salvador Dali Museum is,
I don't know the exact address. It's right down there in the Custom House Plaza, next to the wharf in Monterey.
Yep. So it's walking distance from Fisherman's Wharf, right?
Yep. Exactly.
And so give that a Google, Salvador Dali Museum, and go check out Chris's show there. How many paintings you got up, Chris?
I think there's about 20 in there, something like that. Not exactly sure the number, to be honest.
20 paintings, okay.
Yeah, roughly 20.
And how long were you working on those for? What time period are we talking about?
Each painting is a single sitting. But I probably started the series in the beginning of the pandemic.
Okay.
I actually started the series with
Interesting.
With G up in the mezzanine of the old shop, who would do like late night mezzanine live paintings, or live on the Instagram, in this like little top nook at Silk Screen Express. That was my like allotted private space of that print shop.
Nice. So tell me more about that, like as far as when the pandemic hit, I felt like there was it was kind of a moment of crisis for artists in general, just because everything was changing so much that like the spirit of the times were hard to gauge.
Yeah, it was I mean, either pivot or go under, really, you know. If you're doing something before, that something you were doing before might not be the move the next day around all the stuff with the pandemic, and really had to step into other fields or other styles of doing things. I feel like us as a group, we all kind of flourished during the pandemic. Like, it was almost like being able to be the first to do something, you know?
Interesting, yeah, because it kind of, in a way, it kind of wiped the slate clean, right? Like,
yeah,
almost nothing made before the pandemic mattered at the first part of the pandemic.
Everybody was so afraid to go outside, too, and I was one of those people, to be honest. Like, I was really trying to be around people, but it made it so that anybody that was doing anything or throwing any type of event or happening, like even a properly social distance safe event, was rare.
Only show in town.
Sought after.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter. You could have the stupidest party going in pre-pandemic times, or even as of now, and you'd be getting handed gobs of money just for people coming through and wanting to spend on something.
Nice. And that's the truth. In every disaster is also a creative opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Through destruction, new opportunities for creation arises.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, I don't mean to be like, I'm definitely not happy that the pandemic happened. I mean, I got the coronavirus and everything. It was not nice, but yeah, I mean, it boosted a lot of us off in different new directions.
Nice.
They were kind of helpful.
Now, what in the timeline did this place come to be? Like, how did that?
This came in about 3 months after the first lockdown.
Okay.
We decided that we all wanted a new space, and the shop Monterey was born.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this actually is a product of that time.
Yeah. It was kind of something that, I mean, for me, it was something that was a long time coming to be having my print shop here and going away from Silk Screen Express, even though, I mean, a very amicable split. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a nice transition. I gave him a 1.5 year notice that I was leaving. And I was an apprentice there, so I worked for use of the shop. I wasn't, so I gave him plenty of time to figure out the next move, to be aware that I was leaving, and I still do business with them on the regular. But it was something that I was becoming so busy with my own work that it was stressful to be out in the daytime printing their work.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So it was known by both parties that part of life was about to change.
So the painting started. Who were you with, you said?
With G.
With G.
Yeah.
And what was describe that situation?
Well, G and I have been friends for a while before that, in relation to the arts and things in town, and just he knew me from a converted office space I had up on Munro Street that was actually called the Shop Monterey as well. But this place was a shit show. Like, we were always on the verge of eviction there. You can't have like art shows with wine and food and 80 people in a 500 square foot office building. It's frowned upon.
Right.
So, but G and I have been friends for a while, so like, we were just doing some painting stuff together. I guess maybe all that painting was before the pandemic even. Like, when we first started doing that, it kind of carried into pandemic times. Yeah, we're very different artists too, like our styles. I do more of an abstract style, and his is on the other side of the game. But we're friends, so it's nice to create together and hang out and do some work together. Regardless, we can listen to the same type of music and paint different things.
So there's a concept called parallel play. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
You ever heard that, Steve?
No.
So this is something that psychologists noticed in kids, right? That they have great benefit from playing at the playground, even if they're not playing with another kid. Well, like, they could be sitting in the sandbox just doing their own thing, but the fact that somebody else is sitting 5 feet away from them doing their own thing, they're actually interacting.
Yeah.
They're not. It's called parallel.
Picking up game.
Yeah, and they're picking up energy too.
Yeah.
It's kind of like for introverts, it's a form of socializing.
Yeah.
Parallel play.
Well, G and I are both definitely not introverts. I mean, maybe on the inside we are, or have aspects of that, but we're both loudmouths, especially G, for you're listening to this, G. You're a loudmouth and everything, so.
No.
He's into parallel play.
Yeah, it's a whole nother ball game when she does it, though.
Now, how do you define an extrovert or an introvert?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would think like, I think that like you can be an introvert with extrovert qualities. You know, like I don't think naturally like I'm a super social or outspoken person, but I see it as a necessity. You know?
Okay, because I agree with you, but the way I understand what determines whether a person is more or less introverted or extroverted has to do with where you get your energy from. Right? So what makes you tired and what makes you recharge? Well, and introverts recharge alone.
Interesting.
Being social, they can do it, but it drains them.
Yeah.
Whereas extroverts require social interaction for their energy.
Yeah, and now I'm hearing that. I definitely get power from the right type of social interactions. But if it's not, I'm immediately fucking destroyed by it, you know? Like if I'm in a spot where I don't feel like being, I like take a nap right there on the seat. But the right type of people around me will charge me and make me feel real like pizza does.
Nice.
We should order a pizza pretty soon here.
Good. What about you, C? Do you feel like you're more introverted or extroverted?
I identify myself as an introvert with extrovert qualities because I need long periods of time. I like my solitude.
Pizza.
I like my solitude. I can be, and it's shocking to people sometimes because I can be very extroverted. But my friends know that if I've been socializing for a while, I'm gonna go into hiding for a while. So, like, I'll be here at the shop for days, and then they'll be like, "Oh, but you're always here," and I'm like,
She goes to the club every night.
or even just even if I'm around, I'm always in my own space. Like I always have these huge headphones that I wear to block everybody else out. Yeah, to isolate.
Not much. Is the pizza phone broken again? Dead serious.
Yeah. People are draining.
I'm gonna call you right back when it doesn't work.
Maybe more introverted.
Yeah, definitely.
With extrovert powers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Call me back quick. I need
So how do you recharge yourself? Like, what is your...
I take a lot of walks out in nature.
Walking?
Yeah, walking with Chip anywhere. Mostly like at the beach or the woods, or it's my way to like clear myself up.
Nice.
Refresh the thoughts, and then
Walking is a great way to think too, right?
Yeah.
And process.
Yeah. I call myself a slow processor as well. Remember I was telling you about how last podcast you asked me about Chip, and at the time I mean, yeah, it takes me a second to think things over and figure out what really it is that I want to say or how I really feel.
I like that about you, see, and I think that has to do with your integrity and authenticity. I had a professor one time who was a writer, one of my favorite professors, who, that was his thing, he was like, if you ask him a good question, he'd go, I'll get back to you next week.
Right.
I'm going to think about that.
Right, exactly.
And I always respected that, first of all, resisting the demand for an answer right now. Like people want you to say right now what you think, but maybe it's going to take some time. What about you, Powers? Now let me ask it in a slightly different way. Do you feel emotionally upset? How do you get back to a state of equilibrium?
I I mean, hey, there's a whole variety of ways that could happen, but I mean, it could be anything from walking away or fighting somebody or yelling at them. I mean, like, usually I feel upset due to somebody else causing me to be upset. I don't feel like imbalances inside of myself too often anymore. So if I'm feeling imbalanced, it's because an external factor has put me into an imbalance. What do you think? Do you think that's too high on the shoulder?
I don't think so.
Throw it on real quick.
Oh yeah, you have to
Throw
put
it on
it
real
on,
quick.
yeah, to see.
Powers, what's the printing job you're doing today?
This is Easy Drain, Tom Barrera.
And how did they get in touch with you?
This is Jess's brother-in-law.
Okay.
So this one was it was a built-in job that was coming my way.
Nice.
Due to partnerships.
Connections. So, okay,
What do you think, shoulder-wise?
Could be a little bit higher,
Higher.
I think.
Higher on the shoulder.
I like
I was
it.
thinking almost down here.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that to me visually,
Like, is this
Down
where you
here-
would see something on a shoulder, though?
yeah.
This is more of a forearm.
Right,
when you get into this, you know?
Yeah.
But
Just, I mean, it's kind of like equally spaced between the
Right.
band
It's centered.
and the seam, but not the other band. There's more negative space on the top.
what do you think?
Sturlock.
Sturlux came back.
What's that? How you doing?
What do you think, Sturlock, for placement of shoulder?
Are you like a logo?
What do you
Oh, the
think?
placement of that?
Yeah.
Higher, lower.
Maybe a little bit higher.
A little bit higher?
Thanks, bro.
You're tripping me out, man. Okay, a little bit higher than this.
And why? Why do you
That's
think?
cool though.
Yeah.
That's a good
Well, yeah, no, this one's going through. Hold on, we're taking pizza.
I'll be grabbing some more stuff out of there.
That's what you call
What
a.
y'all doing?
Doing a podcast right now. We're
Hello.
live right now.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
What's happening?
One right there, one right there, one right there.
You guys talking about art and stuff?
Yeah, we're just talking about art and we're doing some painting. You want to
What's
stop
that?
by?
No, shit, I'm just saying.
Yeah, let's do my regular, but with an XL. So maybe some Dr. Peppers. You got a 2-liter of Dr.
I
Pepper?
definitely, for me,
I was gonna ask you. I was like, what is it?
Okay,
Do you know if
cool,
you're
let's
an
do
introvert or
that.
extrovert?
You guys all like Dr. Pepper, right?
oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'll work.
San Pellegrino.
And you got a Pellegrino? Okay, good. This fancy guy over here is just gonna have to chill out.
So you guys, we're having a
He said they got Mountain Dew. Yeah, Crystal Geyser and Mountain Dew. If you mix them together, it's a similar Pellegrino vibe.
There you go. Experimental.
What? No Avion?
Yeah. So yeah, let me get the 2-liter of that and the XL pizza. You ready for some card info? Yeesh, I shouldn't say this loud.
Yeah,
huh?
probably.
No.
Hold on, I'm gonna step out the room real quick. We're on a podcast. We're on a podcast right now.
That's so classic.
Yeah, you know.
Pizza, folks. Artists gotta eat.
What are you
So-
painting, Jake?
I'm painting some text today, but I don't know where it's gonna go. C might just completely change it.
100%.
Yeah, she should change it, but I just started.
Okay.
Ooh. Sweet.
And do you think you're almost ready to swap?
Let's
I
see.
mean, yeah, this is a little. It's wet.
Ah. Chido.
It's okay.
Do I get to put the final touches on them?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you were telling me.
Okay, so I am introverted.
Mhm.
I would say that's probably the same. Like I have to be extroverted,
Mhm.
so I've practiced it
Mhm.
and gotten comfortable with it.
Mm.
But if if I'm feeling down, I'm not going to seek out people. I'm going to go hide.
Oh, okay.
No.
Right? So the way I bring myself back to equilibrium is through things I do solo.
Ah, okay. Yeah. I think that I don't know, I feel like a lot of people are that way. I haven't met a truly extroverted person.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't met someone who is like, I'm gonna go talk to people because I need to recharge. I mean, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Like, I know people who thrive with like I have a friend who, I mean, the most extroverted person I know, she thrives when people are around, but there's also a level of, physical exhaustion that you have to repair, and for that, she'll isolate. She'll be like, I need to go to sleep for days. I'm like, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. You know people who need other people to.
Definitely, 100%.
Yeah?
I think that's one of the, now, something that I am 100% not good at is, relationships. I'll just say it that way. Like, because to me, one of the hardest balances to achieve is that, like, if you're an introvert and your partner's an extrovert, you're kind of fucked, right? Because they need to go to a party to get energy, and that's going to drain you.
Right.
And so, but it's also like noise always wins out over silence.
What do you mean?
That if you have,
They'll get theirs and you won't get yours.
yeah, if you've got 25 people in a room and 23 of them want silence,
Oh.
but 2 of them want noise, it's going to be
It's
noisy.
gonna be noisy.
Right? So it's harder to maintain
Right.
quiet. It's harder.
I see.
So if you are, but I don't know exactly where I was going with that, except that
It is what it is.
it is what it is. But I've definitely been with people who required a lot more socialization than I did, and for me, that's like, hard to negotiate with what works to keep you functioning.
I see.
Now this is fun. This is interesting.
Yeah. I'm like, ooh.
Very different beginnings.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you can definitely put the text on there.
Yeah.
When it comes to painting, I have to just put stuff on the canvas before I even know what I'm doing.
What if right when you handed him the canvas, he just took a big thing of white paint and just covered up your piece, just like, okay, let's collaborate.
I'm down. It surprised me, you know what I mean? Like, and these types of collaborations, I feel like you should always
Just keep starting over. Just keep pouring white on it.
that would be fun. But basically whatever you want. That's all I say. Just do what you want. What looks good, feels good.
Yeah.
Pizza feels good.
And you clearly already did that. So
Yeah, my heart is in one spot right now.
that was such a classic thing. That, have you ever heard of Chris D'Elia? He's a comic, stand-up comic who has a podcast, and he always orders food on the podcast.
Nice.
He says he's being super respectful by being disrespectful because it's more real. So he's giving people the real Chris. And that was what that reminded me
I'm
of.
giving him the real Chris still.
Exactly.
The real Chris gets into anger mode without his pizza. So does the real Joey gets there even quicker. Joey's my alarm clock for anger. If
Oh.
Joey starts getting cranky, that's because Joey's starting to get hungry. And if Joey's starting to get hungry, that means shortly after I'm going to start getting hungry.
Do you guys
Joey
get
and I
hungry?
haven't fist fought yet, but I'd expect it to happen at some point.
Powers,
Hold 1 second.
what's your fighting style like?
Just tuck my head out of the way and swing my arms super crazy.
You just strike the strike.
Nah, I'm like they always make fun of me like I'm from the 1950s. I throw the straight punches. None of these but I always keep my face out of the way because I'm a sissy. I don't like getting punched.
Hey, don't destroy the money maker.
Exactly.
Right? What kind of marketing would that be?
Right.
See,
And
you ever been in a fight?
No.
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 Good.
I've come really close, but I tell you, I'm a slow processor.
Nice.
So I literally like, oh man, yeah, I've come really close to. But then there's something that's just like, stop.
That's awesome.
Like it just, so no, I haven't.
You have a instinct for self-preservation.
Yeah, probably. I mean, also like arguments and stuff like that, like those types of fights. Same. I mean, I get into them, but it's kind of like the same thing. Like I don't know.
I've heard it's less healthy for you to get to the point of where you should be fist fighting and to not fist fight than it is to just get into the fight. Like that's the stuff that causes PTSD. Like coming to the point where battle is necessary and not getting physically the battling part out of the way.
I can see some logic to that, Powers, as far as, especially like, it seems like there's a lot more nervousness, anxiousness when you are waiting for something to happen than when the thing's actually happening.
Yeah. Yeah, getting punched isn't nice, but it's not that bad.
And kind of getting that out of the way for some people might be psychologically relieving.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the fight itself is a relief, you know?
Yeah.
Always. Like, no matter whether it's for a good reason or not, like it's an outlet.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I punched the shit out of things in anger.
That'll work too.
Yeah, but never done that too. You know what it is? I think I'm afraid of killing someone.
It's a solid fear.
You got it. I've thought that too until the first fight I got in when I punched the person.
Yeah.
And I just thought they were going to be out cold and they were just still standing there ready to beat me up. I was like, damn, people are tough. You know, I'm like, oh, it's over? You're done? Nope. Yeah, then I started getting punched on and I realized I had to keep going.
I saw
Right.
you guys did a little Sand City event or something like that.
The night
Yeah.
market?
Yeah, the night market, is that going on again?
Yeah, it'll be once a month.
Yeah.
You gonna come back up and hit it up?
Oh, okay. Is that Friday?
Yeah.
Hey, Jerry Dudley, does that name ring a bell? Might follow you on Instagram.
Sounds familiar. Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, he just DM'd me.
Yeah, he was asking me to make an introduction between you two. He's like, he's super cool. He did like work for Levi in LA, and
about that.
yeah, he's got pictures on his Instagram him like dabbing up Justin Timberlake and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, he did some tailoring for him and stuff. But he was like telling me, he's like, I told him you were moving. You're going to LA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I told him you were going to LA, and he's like, yeah, there's a lot of ambition in LA and a little bit of talent. And like Sturlock's got talent. He'll do good down there. So,
We
but
miss you already.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there. I'll come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have a spot for you when you come back too. Even if we have to kick Patrick out.
Come in, man.
You want to be on the podcast real quick?
Huh?
Hop on real quick.
Come in.
So,
Oh yeah.
what's going on? Got Sherlock's.
This is Sturlock's. What's your AKA?
Sherlock's, you can call me Sterling.
The Stitch King.
Oh, it's Stitched by Sturlock?
Stitched by
I mean, I
Sturlock.
just like to go by Sturlock stuff. I won't be doing more than just stitching, be, painting or
Skateboarding.
filming, anything like that, so,
Nice.
yeah.
But yeah, how do you prioritize those?
Well,
Like, which activity When do you decide which one you're going to do?
It's just all just going with the flow, whatever I feel like, put my hands on and get creative with, basically.
Intuitive. You're an intuitive artist in that way?
Yeah, a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah,
And
it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, I just like to create things, keep on creating.
Keep that energy flowing.
Yeah.
how does how do you feel about, we've been talking about different things as art. How do you feel about skateboarding? Do you feel like that's an art as well?
Skateboarding, yeah, it's art.
Yeah.
Little art, freaking street art, fashion, freaking energy, everything,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. And how is that connected to your art?
Well, it's just basically just clothes and art and just a vision. It's like, putting everything together, art, skating, and all that.
You also are talented at video.
Yeah, I film sometimes.
But
Like on my skate clips.
I even mean just what you do to market your art.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like
He's got that TikTok game.
you got that TikTok
Yeah.
thing fucking down, huh?
Yeah, just throw some clips together here and there. Yeah, it's fun.
How's that eventuated, what has that eventuated for you? You had results from your marketing on Instagram?
A little bit. People just, kind of see more on my website and stuff like that, and just see more basically.
So you get some interest from there?
Yeah, a little bit of some orders and stuff like that.
What's been your best way of making sales?
Mainly just from social media or just popping up at just random spots. Events, pop-up events and stuff like that.
What has been the biggest waste of time for not making sales?
Ooh.
You like that one?
I was like, yeah, I want to know.
If I just stop creating,
Not doing it.
Yeah,
not doing it.
not freaking presenting it enough, or not putting it out there.
Do you feel like when you're doing the work, your energy changes and it's more better energy?
Yeah, a little bit.
I kind of personally, have. I'm pretty much, I would say, superstitious about it. To be honest, like I feel like there's a certain amount of writing. We were talking also about we all write, but we don't share the writing. Personally, I feel like there's a certain amount of writing I could do that will alchemically change my being for the better. And I see it as like my way of communicating with the muse.
Yeah.
If I do enough of the work, the muse will be there and will reward me.
Like Picasso says, or whatever she wrote on the wall, inspiration exists, it just has to find you working.
Yeah, it comes out of the work.
Basically, yeah. Just keep on going,
But then it's also like sometimes it's not even the work that you're working on, it's the work that you do just personally. So another way I would think like skateboarding to me, now I don't skateboard at the level that you do.
Yeah.
My skateboarding is very, fun for me, but not fun for anybody else to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never show someone
You don't got handstands or what?
I just like the flow. I like to move around.
Yeah.
But it always feels inspiring. Like the feeling I
Sterling's a
get.
fun skateboarder to watch.
Right.
Yeah, Sterling.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I
he's-
photographed him before.
Okay, cool. Yeah. There's like it's like afterbang without touching the ground. Like there's like a lot of almost like some break dancing in there.
Dancing out there in the park or whatever.
Yeah. And that translates for me. I'll be unstuck in another way from the feeling that I get from that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's always like, but I've got, I mean, I had it for a while, so I've got many tools that I can draw from. So it's like, at any point, there's something I can do that's going to get my energy going in a good direction. And for me, like I said, I'm superstitious about it. It's when that energy starts going in the best direction that all of a sudden that thing happens. That I would call it an epiphany. Right? Like, so you're writing, don't know what you're going to write about. You're just writing.
Yeah.
And then you get an idea. And where does the idea come from? Who knows, but
Meta implants it into your brain.
advertising.
They're like,
the
you will
data,
advertise you to advertise me.
the data will get you.
You will do what I say.
But so I see you just from watching your social media, you're kind of the similar way where you're a Renaissance man. You're a man who has many forms of art.
Yeah, you can say that.
And I feel like skateboarding is kind of the culture where those things all really can go together.
Yeah.
Like,
a lot of my art is definitely rooted from skateboarding coming first before the art.
Yeah, true.
because skateboarding is one of these industries for young artists where art is respected and photography is respected.
But we're also part of the last generation of skateboarding being counterculture. So now the skateboarding is turning into something totally different, than it was. Like when we were growing up, like getting the cops called for skating the stair sets in front of the library. And you can't go into a town without finding a skate park now,
Yeah.
And a lot of that anti-societal aggression and the culture based around that kind of funnels into clothing and screen printing and graffiti and and all those things connect out to other things, like graffiti can turn into airbrush and it all trickles into you're not very far steps away from an oil painter in Carmel to a graffiti artist in Brooklyn. It's just like they're very it's not hard for those people to get in the same room and enjoy each other. So,
well, also, very good point. And I think it also maybe has to do with the fact that it's such a young industry that to be an industry, you had to have all those different parts, right? Like you had to have the fashion, you had to have art, you had to have photography, all those things are necessary for it to actually elevate from an activity to the level of an industry.
yeah.
Whereas, like other activities didn't take on the same life form, didn't become a viable art form and a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like there's no
Like why inline skating isn't in the Olympics?
exactly what I was thinking, bro.
Because they can't do kickflips.
And because no artist got behind it.
There is though. It just
It's niche, super.
it was a bad luck thing for them that all the things that made up that culture kind of all faded out at once and skateboarding pivoted. People don't 90s inline skating and skateboarding were neck and neck. It wasn't it was not like it is now where skateboarding is mainstream and inline skating is some taboo hot topic generation stuff, it's totally different.
Raise your scooter vertically.
Scooters are doing some wild shit too.
They do. Because anything that becomes uncool becomes like a counterculture to that culture, right? And so then somebody can take that energy, that fuck you energy, and then just be like, oh, you don't like scooters? Well, watch me, go down El Toro on this fucking scooter.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of I'm not a big fan of scooters, but these dudes doing 10 tail whips, 7, 8, 10, 12 feet in the air.
Oh,
that you're a badass. You know, I don't give a fuck who you are. You move like that, you do a big air like that, you do multiple flips on anything.
Yeah.
I don't care. You're cool.
I agree.
You're cool with me if you can do multiple flips on anything.
But you know that's partly originated from the chip on the shoulder of being heckled because you were countercultural.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what that's its own side thing, man. Scootering, I don't know what they emerged from. Like, it's kind of like it's like a volunteer that just popped up. Like, hey, we're here. This is how we're doing it. I'm not gonna lie, I had a Razor scooter when I was a kid. I never had one of those like high-powered, like you can jump off a 40. Yeah. Like I didn't have that.
I got
But, like,
aluminum one.
we were hitting stairs on Razor scooters when I was younger. But yeah, no, I don't know what that like. It definitely does not have the depth roots of skateboarding by any means.
Yeah, that's what I feel like too.
Yeah, like I mean, even inline skating, I think has like a more serious root and like history and culture behind it. Like scooter is like the whole scooter culture is like brand new. You know, it's like I don't know what. Maybe like these kids that weren't like that needed to have their hands involved to have talent, like, and it's showing their talent is cracking off in different ways, you know.
Oh, there you go. Then other people will follow. But it has to build like a critical mass of people who are interested in it, so that there are all those elements.
I think there's a lot to do with
the video.
The scooters kind of come hand in hand with the social media wave of lifestyle that's coming in. You know, it's like I don't know if scooters would have taken off the way they did without Instagram. Honestly, you know, I don't know if pink camouflage pants would have taken off as big without Instagram.
We got against pink camouflage.
Nothing. It is what it is.
So you do some very elaborate stitching.
Yeah.
And how does that just keep adding more tools to what you can do so you can visualize like?
Yeah, just seeing what else I can do or what else I can come up with, maybe what I got. But,
see, what about you with skateboarding? How does that influence your art?
I think I'm just one of
Can't
those.
listen to her. She's a longboarder. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I did.
That's so good. Wait, what was the question?
How does skateboarding influence you?
I think it's just I'm one of those people that has to be like the energy has to keep transferring somehow. I walk a lot now, but back in the day, that's what it was. It was just a way of
Moving
just moving the energy.
What about like style? Like I noticed you got.
Hey,
Arsenio's
in the house. What's up? We're in the podcast right now. We're live.
Right now,
We were just talking about you.
Yeah. Come through.
There's 3 cameras right here.
Oh shit.
Come through. What's up? Chaparro. Hey!
So what's the newest medium you're working with? Skrillex?
handwriting stuff. I've been working with some hats lately. I'll probably move it to LA, and I got a lot of like good feedback coming, so I'm trying to knock out a couple of those hats.
Chip.
Are you wishing that you made them on LA hats instead of New York hats?
A little bit, but also like the NY too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna mix it up, get some different teams.
Nice.
A little bit for everybody.
Oh, we were talking earlier about being an introvert or an extrovert. Do you identify either way? Do you know? Or how do you define those two?
I don't know. Pretty much is. Wait, what? Say it again?
So introverts usually have to recharge on their own. They gotta go solo to get their energy back.
Basically just, get some fresh air or skate or
And then extroverts will need people to get their energy back.
just some, good friends,
But so if you're feeling like you don't have a lot of energy, are you more likely to go to a party or to go do something like that?
Hey,
Yeah.
do you guys have a bathroom here right
That's for a bathroom.
Sorry, we don't have a bathroom.
now? No?
It's converting into a dark room.
Okay, anywhere.
Maybe, yeah, no, I don't know if there's any public restrooms on the street even to think of, now I'm thinking about maybe like the sandwich shop right down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, thank you.
Sorry about that. Yeah, that one's gotta be, because the kitchen too, people can't be using that one.
You guys gotta change the bathroom?
What's that?
You guys gotta change the bathroom?
So padrón.
He wanted it what?
You guys gotta change it?
No, it's a bathroom, but that's like for the it would be too much with the kitchen being right there to make it a public restroom. Wouldn't be proper.
So what is you're going out to LA?
Yeah.
And what's your plan?
Plan is to make new connections and grow my brand out there.
Do you what kind of connections are you looking to make?
I got some homies that are trying to, work together. So get a little studio. And then just, go from there.
Nice.
The shop LA.
Just shop LA, yeah.
So same kind of thing.
Same kind of thing, but yeah, just,
Same strategy, same approach.
uh-huh.
Do things that make you happy and stay creative.
Yeah, basically. I got some homies that have this the same kind of skills as what I'm working with. So we try to team up and push out more, stuff out faster.
Nice. What about are you interested in an influencer strategy? Only in today's language when we understand what that means. So you know what I mean, right? Like, are you trying to get your clothes on certain people?
Doesn't matter. Depends. Like if a big main person wanted something, probably want to work something out.
Yeah.
Would you charge them or do it for the marketing?
I don't know, probably cut a deal or something.
I charge them double.
Well, you're not gonna do it for the clout.
Nah.
I mean, you probably don't even get tagged in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather do it for the money first.
Yeah.
But don't you think? Okay. Who would look the best in your stuff?
Probably a lot of people. Like a lot of underground rappers or something like that, or some skaters, some dancers,
Musicians,
models, yeah.
skaters, dancers.
Yeah.
So what would be like a hip hop artist who you wanna?
Kind of like a few underground, Bay Area rappers. Kind of get some bandana jacket, stuff like that, or a custom hat. That's about it. I ain't got no big name, like Drake or anything.
We only want Jay-Z, Drake, Puff Daddy, Sinister Selecta.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Aurora Anthony?
No.
So Aurora Anthony has this great song, but he's a Nigerian hip hop artist, but he has a real art aesthetic. He's really into fine art, like gallery mode art. So I can see him wearing your stuff and popping off really well. Because I would almost think that would kind of be the cross section that with your art background.
Chris, do you have music playing?
No. Do you hear some?
I think my mind is making up songs off of all the noise that's going on there because
Nice.
I hear like
Sing it
music.
out loud.
I'm hearing
I want to hear
music
the
and it's-
translation.
It's tripping me out.
See, are you about ready to trade back?
Yeah. Sorry, I got really into
No,
it.
I like it. I noticed
So you guys are switching.
we're switching
Yeah.
back and forth.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's so different than when I handed it off. It's amazing. Yeah.
Flash the camera.
Oh yeah, check it out, folks. Stage 2. Look awesome.
Stage 2.
A little lower.
I'm about to get out of here.
Hold on.
All right, Big John.
Alright.
Man, we're gonna miss
Chris.
Floyd. I just
Hey,
said
I want to see you guys like a couple more times. I got a couple more weeks here.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Alright, y'all.
Alright, man.
That was a good one.
Alright, G.
What are you thinking of? Probably like after Christmas.
Ooh, I like that one.
See, what music are you listening to? How do you find your music? How important is music?
She
to you?
listens to machines and makes songs out of them.
Right? That's how important it is to hear it when it's out there.
This whole time I've been like, what kind of music is that? Because it sounds like it's just really low.
Interesting.
Yeah. Or maybe I'm at that point where I'm losing my mind and just. Or maybe that cookies was a little stronger than I thought.
Oh, that could be too.
No, but I've been hearing since I got here. And I've been trying to place what it is this whole time. How do I find my music?
MySpace. I'm serious. I'm getting like residual like music. I used to find all kinds of music on MySpace, just
Yeah.
looking at artists'
Oh.
top 6 and just continuing through them
Mhm.
to where now I have a good like thing, and then you can just kind of type them into YouTube and you get who's kind of like them,
Yeah.
but all the way back from that.
Now that's one place where the algorithms have done as well
Yeah.
with music,
Mhm.
right? Like starting with Pandora,
Yeah.
and that's sort of how you just put on a station, and all of a sudden you can discover like 5 new bands.
Right. No, I miss Pandora. That's
But-
Spotify now.
Yeah, but nothing is really doing that for me now.
Yeah.
Because now I gotta listen to a playlist, but
What about Spotify? Spotify doesn't hold it down?
not in the same way.
So Spotify has a bigger range. Like Spotify has far more music than Pandora does, but Pandora has like a lot of like the when you would press like shuffle on the playlist, because I had different playlists and I would just shuffle them all. Or when it catered the playlist for you, it seemed more. Spotify gives me a lot of what I've already heard over and over, and Pandora would always have like, I don't know. But this was years ago. I don't know anymore. I appreciate Spotify though. It's got my back. Usually through people get new music. The radio. I listen to a lot of music. You know how Spotify collects all your data by the end and shows you.
Yes, the year-end results.
Right. The amount of minutes that I listened to were ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah. I was really surprised with that. But then Natalia was like, dude, you had your headphones on all the time. So yeah, I just listen to a lot of music and people. Everywhere.
What about you, Powers? Because I feel like.
Let me count these real quick. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no worries.
I'll chime back in there in a second though.
I feel like. Do you do reels much, see?
What?
On Instagram, do you do reels much?
No.
No? Because they go off.
What do you mean?
Reels are like videos, but because Instagram, that's their answer to TikTok.
Oh, I see.
And because they're trying to compete with TikTok, they push the reels. So if you post a reel, like I posted a reel for a business account that was just kind of not really much, and it got like 15,000 views.
Wow.
It was the easiest 15,000 views I've ever got in my life. But it's because Instagram wants that product to win. But so it kind of is advantageous if you like doing video to do it because you'll increase your reach significantly.
Right.
You notice that, right? Towers on these kind of stuff.
Yeah, I have, but I've been dealing with some bullshit with Instagram lately, where they're making it so I can't play whatever music I want.
You gotta switch to creator.
Creator, huh?
Yeah.
Then how did that happen to where I got switched out of that?
They just keep changing it because they didn't have creator mode before.
Because I was using it
as a business.
Yeah, I was using it. I don't know what I was under. Creator's the account where I could pick any music though. Nice. Yeah, because I was doing real nice, having some nice real fun, and they kind of corked me. Made it so I couldn't do that anymore. It was a little bit of a bummer. I've been using their preset music, which is the
horrible,
the swaggy boo boo.
Horrible. That's why I was asking you where you find music too, because it's almost like now we have this other layer. Because the thing about Reels is usually when you do video, you got to either use swaggy domain, free music that people are just putting out there.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
it's so whack that they can't get paid for it.
Yeah, they can't make money off it.
Or Instagram gives them $5 and they just use it for like.
But otherwise, if you tried to post something with other music, you get copyright struck, and so they'll take it down. But Reels licensed all music, like the whole Spotify library.
Oh snap!
So you can
Facebook owned music.
Well, they licensed it. They rented it.
Yeah.
But so what that means though is you can make videos with any music you want, which is way more fun, right?
Yeah.
Way more fun to make videos with music you love.
Yeah.
Than just some weird beat that you don't really vibe with.
I feel like it definitely triggers the algorithm too. Like people looking up that song or in that genre of music that are automatically sent in your direction.
100%.
So it's good to switch up those too. Do a little country, do a little hip hop.
There you go.
A little rock and roll.
Try to hit some different demographics.
Absolutely no polka. Nobody likes polka.
That's gonna be the next rollerblading. It's gonna be the next razor
scooter music.
Scooter music, dude. Wait, have you ever heard of Oliver Tree?
Sounds familiar, but I don't know.
He's a musician that comes from Santa Cruz, but he signed with Atlantic and got huge. He's fucking awesome. But his whole aesthetic is he is a scooter rider with ultra baggy pants. He's doing it ironically. And a bowl cut. Like 80s bowl cut, bro. And all his clothes are his mom's from the 80s. Just the most cringy, embarrassing look you could ever imagine. That, I can see him do a polka album for sure.
Have you heard of the Edgar cut?
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Who's Gone Wild?
Yeah, that's where I was peeping it, I guess.
I think that Who's Gone Wild is rad, but it may also. You know Who's Gone Wild, Joey?
Fruit's Gone Wild?
Foods. Are you familiar with that though?
Yeah, food.
Yeah, sock check.
Yeah.
I love the culture of it.
It's funny.
And somebody will rock the Edgar and make it work.
I had a Chelsea.
Shit like that just becomes a challenge.
Yeah. There are people that be having hangers that are like, I don't know them by name, but they're out there.
Oh, I can do it.
Joey.
Dude,
I don't even know if they're really out there. I just made that up.
I still believe it. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
alien life forms. No proof, but likely.
Yeah. Where's my dog at? Oh, there she is. Just want to make sure she's chilling.
But so see, back to the real thing, right? Is it super effective? Like, I could see you
Oh, thank you.
putting together some really nice reels that would help to market your work. With music that you like, its powers. The other thing about it is it's a branding tool,
Yeah.
right? Like you could, for a certain business, you could choose like this business is really like 60s psychedelic rock. We're gonna go with that genre and do reels out of that. But I feel like it's kind of exciting because it gives you more motivation, more reason to look for new music.
Huh.
Yeah. I feel that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because now you got this really useful thing. Like, I always want to, in some way, think about, reflect on, and try to shape in my own little way the temperature of the times. Right? Like and that's going back to our earlier part of our conversation when COVID hit and you had to change strategies, right? Because the temperature of the times radically shifted.
It's ready to change.
And I felt like for a while musicians are kind of the best at that, I feel. Because it's such an immediate process, you can record a song today, be on the radio tomorrow.
Yeah, but I feel also that musicians got the short end of the stick with the pandemic stuff, man.
Oh, they did, 100%. Because of the way it's monetized.
Yeah, I mean, even just the shows and being gone, and like the pandemic has not been good to my musician friends.
No. Well, and that's what I was about to get to, is that you noticed right away nobody was making anything that reflected the spirit of the times. I feel like until recently, people were struggling to make anything that was relevant. Because it was just new territory, nobody knew what to do.
It's a creepy world out. I'm sorry, I'm gonna start spinning this thing again just with all the little jacket.
But now that we have people are getting it, are able to adapt, have adapted, and are putting out great work again, there's this moment of synergy where we, as visual artists, can market our stuff. At the same time, we're learning about new musical artists and helping to promote them as well.
Yeah.
So it's
I can see that.
It's this great creative synergy.
Is what we're doing by using reels helping artists?
100%.
Is it?
Oh yeah. What's up, bro?
What's up?
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Q, come on in.
So do I brought a chair?
Nice.
That chair. A chair. What's up?
We're this room is coming in here. You will be on film and audio right now. We're in the middle of a podcast. We're on the Everything Jake podcast. This is Jake. This is C.
Nice to meet
Met
you,
C.
Quentin.
Hello.
Quentin, nice to
I only
meet
have met you, see, I've probably seen you around, but
Oh.
not officially.
Quentin
Yeah,
is
seen you around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quentin is
See.
behind the scenes a graphic designer for the shop. He does a lot of
Awesome.
a lot of my adjusting files, separations, printing film, sexual favors in the bathroom.
Yep.
Whoever's looking.
Nice.
A lot of practical stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Stuff that's needed
all
around here.
all the mellow stuff.
Yeah.
The pink room is named after him.
I love how you added that one in last.
Well, it's the thing he's least good at.
Oh, on this
Yeah.
stuff, because they have
So he's coming
Oh,
in
he's switching up that
to
side?
help make some
Yeah,
film
then
go
I'm-
down right
actually
now.
probably good.
Nice.
Hopefully, other work
Okay, so
there,
Powers,
and
back to your
that
show.
part.
Yeah.
And then, see, you're going to be showing there soon as well.
Yeah. January. From what I know.
Okay, so we're not quite sure on the timeline of that yet, but
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure on the timeline of when mine's gonna end.
Right.
get there now to go see Powers work. And are you doing any merch for the show?
I mean, I literally only
No.
turn it on to just the,
Or prints,
just the print.
for a matter of fact.
And then once I do that, then I'm done, so.
Yeah, no, but there was like probably 10 people there wearing Most Hated stuff that night.
Check.
That's awesome.
And the Most Hated is a,
Yeah, I'm like sad that I didn't actually took you off on that when you asked me.
with what?
When you were like, come make, you want to do one? And I was like, oh, let me get a beer in first. And then I never got to it.
Well, that's a
Because
good
the
thing
next
about
day,
it.
because next day everyone, it was like a uniform.
Yeah, that's a good thing about it though. We can keep on airbrushing and screen printing until, of course, we're too old, you know? Mr. Rogers doesn't feed the fish anymore. Poor old guy. Even more importantly, poor fish.
Well, what else are we going to do to market your show while it's up, Chris?
Probably nothing too extreme.
Why not?
Maybe burn down the library or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like publicity stuff?
Yeah.
Some PR?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably have another. That was more for the friends, you know.
Yeah.
That was like for the
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
for the people I fuck with that inspire me, more than it was for buyers, you know. So there may be action at another little showing, like another little event for people that are more trying to reach into their pocketbooks and
That's what I'm saying.
scribble out a check.
How do we do that?
I don't know. I'd probably invite a couple people that know a couple people and just pick a date, see if I can get the Dolly Museum. They're the ones that proposed the idea. So maybe they got something up their sleeves. I'm not too stressed on it. I've already promised about 6 of the paintings to, if they don't sell, to people for free. So, whatever doesn't sell, it's not going to be too much of an issue to get rid of.
No, I know. I'm not suggesting you should be stressed about it. I'm just saying you got this great show up.
Yeah.
How can we capitalize on it the most?
Just tell all your friends, tell all your family, go on down to the Dolly Museum ASAP. Yeah, I don't know. I like haven't put much thought into it, to be honest. Like, it's almost more like, I feel like sometimes I do stuff like the show at the Dolly Museum more than it is to make a sale.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of negative, you know? So I don't know, I spent a good chunk of my life doing stuff that was a little bit negative. So whenever I do something that's on the other side of that, it's more like a notch in the belt than a way to make money sometimes, you know?
Okay, so this is what I'm thinking, and I'm just spitballing here, but this space, the shop, is a great addition to the community.
Agreed.
And part of why, what we were talking about earlier, that I was describing it as having a similar kind of energy or feel to like a really good art department.
Yeah.
But this is independent.
Organic.
It's yeah, exactly. It's not an institution that you guys did it. It's a do-it-yourself from the ground up thing. And so what I would think is, what if we could use that in some way to raise funds for the space?
For what space?
For this space.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, instead of seeing it about monetizing it for as a way to do good, like you were saying, to offset.
It's not about good or bad. It's about positive or negative. And then it's not like those, to me, don't hold that, like, hold the same, like, values in that kind of way. So, like,
Gotcha, okay. So positive.
I did the anti-societal drug addict lifestyle, and now everything I do that's further into the opposite of that, like, I want to be the mayor. Imagine if I was
That's what I'm saying.
ex-convict that becomes the mayor. Like, look at the contrast. That's beautiful.
Yes. But so that's what I'm saying. Like, if we could somehow leverage your show right now to get you more resources to support your artists, or clout to make moves to do that.
Yeah, but with the here's the thing. Like, what I'm getting at is like this. It's like with even if nobody showed up to the show, it's already done. It's already like the what needed to be for the ends is already there, you know?
Yeah.
I've already had one of my first press in the same building as a Dali press, and my paintings are hanging with his paintings, you know?
Oh yeah.
It's like, so it doesn't, like, people, the fact that all my friends came and that will be, you know, discussed, that there was a good time to be had and people kicked it and did their thing is cool, but the grand picture of it is that it happened. Doesn't even matter about selling the paint. It's like a resume piece, but I'll never apply for a job, you know?
I feel that.
It's like I don't know, it's something that, like, we're really blessed that they hooked us up to be working, doing stuff out of there. That's like, there's a lot of artists in the world that are super gifted and won't ever have a chance to have their work hanging with one of the greats, you know? Never. Might not even get to go see a museum like that, let alone have a whole room dedicated to your paintings in there.
Exactly. So this is the way I'm looking at it, Powers. Now you're playing with house money.
House money. Talk.
Right.
Tell me.
So you've already broken even. You've already made what it needs to be.
I'm way ahead.
You're ahead. So now you can gamble on this last part without losing anything.
Yeah. Tell me what to do. I mean, there's nothing to lose.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm just looking at, okay, you got at least, 20 something days to do something with that show. So we should create content there for one thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Should light a cannon off in there. That'd make a good TikTok video.
We should. We should create some sort of. We should go down there and create content.
We should do an art heist and steal all my paintings.
There you go.
Like an armed art heist and steal all my paintings and then resell them on the black market.
That's stolen.
Damn. Like, these are stolen Chris Powers pieces.
What if we got permission from the Dolly Museum to make it look like we were stealing a Dolly?
Yeah, but I would want it to be in the news if we were going to go that far. And that would require fake police reports and all kinds of shit. It'd be better to just run up in there and steal a dolly.
Be very fearful, though.
Wear a mask. It was Joey. That's what I'm going to do when I get caught. I'm going to straight snitch and say it was Joey. A lie snitch, too.
They might believe you.
Yeah. They're like, are you talking about that weird little guy that used to get naked at parties here? Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, Joey's got an extensive history of getting naked at parties.
So is Mike Johnson.
I'll show the folks.
Oh, right.
Oh, nice.
Look at this. Dig it.
No idea what's going on.
Here, look at this. The music's over.
Wow.
When the
How peaceful.
music's over, turn out the lights.
Dude, I swear to God, I told Al on the phone, I said, hey Al, if you get this pizza here in 35 minutes, you're gonna get a shout out on our podcast that's running live right now.
Dang.
I'm gonna tell everybody it's Domino's if this motherfucking pizza doesn't get here soon. And act like I hate it the whole time. I hate it, but it's just a little better than Pelican Pizza. No, I love Pelican Pizza. That's the only pizza shop in town that I could call, and when he recognizes my voice, he said, you want your usual, at your usual address?
Nice.
It's a good pizza. Solid, nutritious.
What about, are you open to making any merch
For the show?
Yeah.
I mean, I could. I actually, the previous owners of the Dolly collection let me go in there and take a picture of a Dolly lithograph and then vectorize it and then alter it to become out of copyright. And so I have a collab piece with Salvador Dali that we printed on shirts that sold in the gift shop there.
Bust that out, but then also
I wonder if I
like,
have that thing still, to be honest.
I wonder what other kinds of things we could do.
I don't know.
Like,
I'd like to not store those paintings.
Oh, no, definitely.
That's the real deal. I'd like to make new ones.
that's what I'm saying. So we want to move them. But so say even the ones that you have designated to give away.
I might have washed that screen out, to be honest with you.
What if you make merch out of those ones, right?
Yeah.
Because then you're giving them away to somebody, but then you'll be able to monetize off the merch. And then if they get super famous, because the merch does well, and there's a demand for the merch and you keep making more of it, then all of a sudden that painting that you gave to one of your friends is worth a lot of money.
Yeah, I could see that.
And
I mean, as long as it's one of my friends making the money, I'm okay with it.
And you could even have, I'm going to give this to you, and then if you sell it, I need to get 10% or whatever.
I like that. 90%.
90%. Just give it to somebody.
Hold
and
on
say,
to this, but
hey,
if it
this
sells,
is yours, but if you sell it, this is our deal.
99%.
Because that would be cool,
99.
right? And then that way, as people saw the merch, you started to get out there, the offers might come in, you could do some sort of auction. That was what I was thinking with the other.
Here's something that's always stuck with me with the Carmel artists. You rarely go into an art gallery in Carmel and find prints. You rarely go into an art gallery in Carmel and find merch. It's almost insinuates starving artists.
It does, but
which I don't want to lie and say I'm starving. People will see right through it. I'm lightweight fat. Man.
No. I don't think it insinuates starving artists. I think it insinuates countercultural artists.
Yeah.
Which oftentimes there are starving artists among that group.
Right. Absolutely.
But it's
and there's starving artists in the Carmel scene too.
I believe that.
It's 100%. Like part of their strategy to not expose their hunger.
Yeah.
You know, like people gravitate.
So you're trying to not expose your wealth, and they're trying to not expose their hunger.
I mean,
funny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely got enough to eat, but I could use some more money. You know.
Yeah. But
no, I think. And I think us collectively, like right here, what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
I think we're some of the top dogs in Monterey. Really, like we have a powerhouse in the back part of the shop, the Lynetta Art Mural Group.
Oh, yeah.
We got Patrick carving jade, Sturlock that was just in here sewing.
Got Sevilla.
Yeah, she's part of the Mural Group and stuff, double dipping. No, I'm just kidding.
But she's her own entity as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely.
Oh,
and like busting out badass art.
Absolutely, 100%. And there's just we have a powerhouse of people in here that we're the top of the hungry ones. So instead of we're gonna take a transfer real soon into Carmel. Like whether these guys like it or not, I'll just go rent a space and start selling their art over there. And then when they're ready to have all the money, they can just have it. But it's gonna take some of us to go make that jump. You know, like it took some of us to make the jump to open this place. It was like not a natural feeling thing. Even it was just out of necessity. We all need space. We all need friends that are in the same boat to make this all work.
I know.
That's kind of how I feel about the whole spot. Like, I'm one of the people that helped found this, but this is not my spot. This is our spot. This is not. I don't have any ownership of the shop.
Pizza.
Is a pizza here?
Yeah.
Pizza is
Tutti
here.
on the. Hey, perfect, impeccable timing by Pelican Pizza.
Yes.
Pelican pizza.
Wonderful.
Will you grab that? Of course. I'm gonna pull this last one out. Hey, did he put a tip on the card?
No, he didn't.
Here, I got you on some cash. You got a 10 in there? You got some. Oh, here, trade me out. See if he's got a. Don't worry about it. He probably got some change.
Yeah, I got 2 5s.
Perfect. I need some 5s. You got a pen? Thank you. Nice.
Yes.
Big shout out to Pelican Pizza right here. Hell yeah. We're actually live on a podcast in this room right now. I told Keith that I would give a shout out. You got any words for the podcast about the love of pizza? Well, we love it. Thank you, and we love you for bringing it. Thank you. Have a good one. Oh, don't even take that. Take that.
What?
Yeah, this one's on me. Out of the pure joy of finishing that shitty job. Missy, you love pizza? Fair warning, anything being said or done in this room is recorded video and audio right now. We're live on a podcast. Jack's actually Jack's actually a local man on the loose, on the run from the law.
Wow.
He was caught sniffing bike seats at the sports center. No, Jack's also a local artist.
Legend has it you stole some Dalis from the Dalis.
Oh yeah.
Actually, we got footage of it. We saw some footage of it.
Really?
Yeah, it looks super sketchy.
I thought I got all the cameras.
Yeah.
No, there was one left behind.
What's up, Mitch? No harness. Whoa. Whoa.
No, but we were thinking about Powers has his show at the Dali right now.
Missy.
Are you thinking about going and swooping them?
We want to make some content down there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just to remind people that it's down there.
I just need to know.
And so we were thinking of staging a heist.
Nice.
Would you be interested in acting in that, perhaps?
If it's a legit stage heist.
Legit.
Yeah.
We're not going to get anybody in trouble.
Yeah.
But we just want to create, some little video, some fictions.
Yeah, I'm down.
Man, any other ideas? You got any funny ideas, skits to do in the space?
Yeah.
We want to just blow that show up for the rest of the month,
Yeah, I'm down with it.
Cool.
Making this. Like a weekend style? On the weekend?
Missy.
Missy, come on.
Yeah, you're blowing it right now,
What's
dude.
up, bro?
What's happening? Just make it solid backside. This black goes.
How's this
white.
going? See? How's this going for you, the painting?
Oh, dude, I'm like, I'm fucking high.
You having fun with it?
It's just, yeah.
different,
I'm
right?
just going.
That's
All
it.
I'm doing is just going.
That's it. That's all you gotta do.
Literally not
Yeah,
gonna
right
stop
where
it to
those
think
little-
about anything.
Good.
Stop.
Love it.
No.
Oh, right.
No. Be nice.
This is the best podcast yet. Have fun. All right, Powers, we're getting the ball rolling here. We're starting to think about some ideas.
Gang gang.
We're blowing your show up, dude.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I like the heist idea.
I
Pretty
like
much
that,
like
too.
that or better. That's what I'm into.
Nice.
start it like when I go for Thanksgiving or for Christmas in like a couple weeks.
See,
So I
what do you
haven't started
think?
it
What piece of yours do you think would make the best
I'll
merch
run
right now?
20 when I park it there.
The most what?
It's been over
The
like
best
a year and a
merch.
half. Oh, hey.
What would translate the best as a shirt?
Did a homie hit you up?
No.
Oh, yeah, because I told
The last series it would be the chimp or
He's
the
gonna help me
lion.
do a couple things too.
Yeah.
Is that more because of what the animal is, or the way the painting turned out?
There's something about that pink neon on the crown of the lion that is just
Pops.
yeah. I'm like
That shit hits hard.
I'm like that. I can see that just because of that element. I mean the thing, But the chimp, I feel like that's everyone's favorite. So.
I think I like the lion the best, to be honest.
Yeah.
Or the chip.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I definitely had to make some of Chip because, I mean.
Little offended you didn't make one of Missy.
Powers, what is the process to get a painting on a shirt? Is it a photograph? What?
You can do a 4-color separation and screen print it with CMYK.
Okay.
Assuming that's a 4-color or a full color piece. If we're talking black and white, then you just break it down to halftone. Or you could do a direct-to-color printing, which a lot of times for people like us, that makes more sense. Lower minimums, easier access, and it actually is easier to get closer to accuracy of the painting than it is to in screen print.
Nice. So what does that cost? Like, what's that look like?
Depends where you go or who you know, but if I wanted to do it, I'd go over to Silkscreen Express and I'd probably do $8 to $10 a shirt.
So that's not something that you can make money off of?
I mean, I could charge someone $15 a shirt.
No, but you don't do that process here?
Nah, I do screen printing and a little bit of heat transfers. Forrest does the sublimation printing, and we do a vinyl as well.
So if we wanted to see a shirt,
we'd send her over to Silkscreen Express.
And the same for your paintings?
Yes, I would. That's where I would go for doing mine.
And we would take a photograph of it?
Yeah, we'd have it. Yeah, have you do it real well photographed.
Right.
And then that would be the move.
Okay.
No. But the problem comes out to where, so you have so many paintings. Also, paintings are square, so then you have a square on there. It's a little funky to put. Like some of C's paintings where she doesn't use all the canvas and it actually makes more of an oval, like an egg shape in the middle. Those could be really cool if you blur the edges of the canvas out and it has more of a design shape instead of a canvas shape.
Right.
Canvas shape on a shirt is kind of it can be cool if it's done right, but
is it too heavy or what?
It's just too heavy of a look. Like you see someone with a big old square on the front of their shirt, it's like, oh, nice square on your shirt.
What if you did like a small one?
That could be a thing, like a long left chest or something. Yeah, there's ways to make it cooler.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying. You don't want to just do it life-size, same look.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
But if you miniaturized it and
if you
duplicated
did like a weird left chest that was like 6 inches long and like 3 inches wide, that could be a interesting look.
Nice. So we should do that Okay, now here's another thing I was gonna say. Like, what if, even for little projects like that, what if there was some way to get an investor involved?
I mean, my whole thing is with investors, I only use them when it's absolutely necessary and out of my range. Is that just, I mean, you would have to, what's the price amount you would have to have an investor? Because essentially, if somebody invests, they want a return.
Right.
If somebody wants a return, and it's something I could have just put the money down and then I get all the money, well, fuck that other dude.
No, but I'm thinking like, say I want to do a shirt, but all my money's tied up in other things right now.
Yeah.
But so it would just be a way to get that project going when I don't have the investment myself. Set up.
Yeah. Then it's fully good. That'd be a perfect scenario of when it's worth paying somebody else, to use some of their money.
Because so
I haven't ran into that too much with shirt stuff. So I would advise, like, since the minimums are lower with direct to garment, I would advise going in, you buy 5 for $50 and flip them for $25 a piece, and then you have what does that come out to? $125, and you go in and you buy 14 of them, and then do the same thing, and then all of a sudden you have a batch of 50, and then they can sit around a little longer. Like, instead of that person getting $5 every time you sell a t-shirt or whatever they want to get out of it.
What if they even was just like to recoup their expenses plus $50 or whatever?
Yeah.
Just as like more as like a favor with minimal risk to them.
Yeah.
What do you think the price would be? Just to put it in a life example, if we wanted to take one of C's paintings and made a shirt out of it, what would you recommend, like the number to run, and how much would it cost?
I mean, I'd say get like 50 of them. You're probably in the $500-$600 range.
Okay.
That's like, but you don't have to go that big, is what I'm saying. Like, once it prints well, the print shop has your file and has the profile all set up to where you can go back in and have more printed.
So how much would that initial expense be?
I mean, if the picture's good off the bat, like direct to garment doesn't have a setup like that. If they gotta do a bunch of graphic work and weird shit to make your
so it's just gonna be the price of the shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So do you want to do that, see?
Do what?
Create a shirt out of one of your paints?
Yeah. I am going to.
Well, I'll photograph it for you if you want.
Oh, thank you. I already have photographs of them.
Oh, you got them already?
Yeah.
Nice.
There's also too, like.
Yeah, I just. There's a few things happening, and I'm like. Yeah, I need the capital for that.
Yeah, I mean, and like with artists that are in the shop too, like if there's a screen printing option, like say one can be reduced to a 2-color, like it's the lion in black and white, but then it has
do a variation on
the
it.
pink crown, or,
Yeah.
you know.
Those
Sorry,
two.
is it lion or tiger?
It's a lion.
Lion, that's right. Yeah. Get those confused a bit.
That is
But if it can be a 2-color, like I won't charge you setup. I could front you 50 shirts. It's not a big deal. Like, and then you can just sell them and like pay me back a way more. Like you could pay me back like the cost of the shirts even, and we can just get it going so you have something to work with.
All right, do a portrait of Missy.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's even
Shit.
better.
That's deal done. I just felt that energy. But see, so that's what I'm saying, Powers, is I think that's an opportunity for you in order to support artists who maybe don't have the budget.
Yeah. Yeah, I do a lot of that in here. It's like the deal is kind of this, like
What's the deal?
I either will do like a trade, like Arsenio traded me this tattoo, or like in the instance of Pat, like he pays for all the raw material, he pays for screens that are his, he pays for the shirts, and then I'll like show you how to print it, help you print it, and then hopefully after that you can be printing them as you please on a press that we keep in the back.
Gotcha.
So, yeah,
You are developing artists in that way.
Yeah. I'm super into everybody here being able to make money and like having this be their thing, and if that can be like a piece of it, like I'm more than happy to provide that. Like a business that buys shirts off me will reap the benefits in different ways.
Exactly.
Marketing and doubling up on the shirt, so they essentially make money to market their stuff. But
beautiful.
yeah, I'm not I'm not trying to make any like cash off the artists that are in here as far as shirts. Like if I can wiggle a tattoo out of somebody, or a portrait of my dog, like of course I'm into it. But yeah, I mean that's not necessary for that. I want to see people's art on T-shirts and stuff like that. Like
That's awesome.
Construction companies and coffee shops and different things that they're going to use it for their thing, and they're not necessarily in here every day making art with us and doing things. They can pay and make their money or use it as uniforms or however they feel. But for us in here, it's definitely got to be, we got to work together.
Can we do that then for, as an example, to show how the program works? Do it with one of your paintings right now.
Oh, we can't. No, we can't like produce a screen in this time and all that in this short of a time.
No. I mean, so we'll go photograph. For yours, we'll walk artists through not the screen printing, but what's the other process with the photograph?
The direct to garment. It's in another shop in Seaside, and they're a little more old school than me. They're I don't think it's as fond of cameras on them while they're working.
Gotcha.
I'm okay with it. They're not like. I think it's not like about hiding the process. I think they're just a little more camera shy.
But I mean, we can just show like going and getting the photograph, and then
yeah, we could do something like that for sure. Maybe they would like the publicity. Actually, I can give them a call tonight and ask them.
Maybe do that, because then what we'll do, we'll double dip in that content by both creating the merch for the show, blowing up the show, and then also showing the process, so that other artists could do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's even a way that we can create some relationships through doing that between the museum and so they can have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, super like open and transparently. Like, I'm not trying to have Silkscreen Express print shit for the museum. They're a good client of mine. Without me liaisoning the situation,
No.
Not like, I mean, if they did go that route, I wouldn't be bitter about it. I have a lot of love for Silkscreen Express, but we always kind of like watch out for stepping on each other's toes as far as people we're working with. Missy doesn't watch out for stepping on anyone's toes. Loudmouth. What?
Hound dog, I love hound dogs.
You stop whining. You hungry? You're probably hungry, yeah. That's why you're making all that noise, all that ruckus. Let me feed the goldfish.
Monday.
Show us the painting.
Oh.
You down? Alright, Jakester. Let's see what Jake's got going on.
Yeah. These are really different.
Yeah.
For your food.
So interesting, right? How different they are, but we both worked on both of them.
Look cool. Have any of you guys seen a backpack around here?
It's right here. Sorry.
Right there.
I see it, Tuck. Gotta feed the goldfish.
You were for reals?
What's that?
You're for reals?
Yeah, Missy's a goldfish.
It's a land shark.
Oh.
You see this bump on Missy's head?
Yeah.
Her ancestors came out of the ocean. She evolved from the dolphin.
You want this one back?
Yeah.
Oh.
How are you doing? You want to wrap it up for today? You want to keep going?
Let's wrap it up and
Yeah.
eat some pizza.
Yeah. Wrap it
Okay.
up.
So that is the last leg of today's experimental podcast.
That was fun, guys.
We got weird. We ate cookies. We painted. And I'm really happy with what we made.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
for hosting. And until next time, Jake Shea Thomas, another episode of Everything Jake. Thank you so much, C. Sevilla, Chris Powers, Joey Martinez, our engineer. And don't forget to go visit Guido's Tacos.
Big
Dust
time.
Bowl Tacos, is that right?
Dust Bowl
Brewery.
Yeah.
Guido's Tacos at
It's
Dust Bowl Brewery.
It's the crack of the taco game.
Crack
You
the
won't
taco
be
game.
able to eat it just once.
Be advised, be advised. Fair warning. Till next time,
Thank you
peace.
for having